We're going to kick off with Nicholas Lansman, the Secretary General of ISPA.
Over the past 15 years, the Internet has expanded and developed phenomenally to the incredible tool that it is today, unrecognizable from the Internet in the mid-1990s. Advancements in technology have presented challenges to industries throughout the course of history, and the Internet is perhaps the greatest challenge of them all. Industries that wish to survive must embrace the Internet and not see it as a threat. So, to legislate or not to legislate, that is the question. Can laws in this area be written in a way that is both practical and enforceable? The Internet has been accused often of being the Wild West. ISPA, my trade association, has been a proponent of self-regulation, but of course legislation is an essential part of society. But laws rarely prevent what they forbid. The Internet's cross-border nature is another huge issue. Different countries have different laws. If we want to really capture the hearts and minds of consumers, is legislation across Europe imposing sanctions against our shared customers really the best way to do it? There is a serious chance that this will push peer-to-peer problem underground and ostracize our joint customer base. Young people need educating about the importance of copyright and the illegality of copyright infringement. New business models need to allow users to legally access content they want in the format they want at a fair price. Those companies, both ISPs and music industry, who embrace the enormous potential of online music and work in partnership to reach the consumer will ultimately reap the rewards if they're willing to take those risks. Fortune, in both senses of the word, favors the brave. Thank you.
Now we move on to our second contributor, Gerd Leonhard.
The Internet and the music industry has lifted the music industry off the floor and made fun of them, immobilized them to a very large degree. NBC's Jeff Zucker says the content industries are being forced to trade analog dollars for digital pennies. And is that true? That is true. The value of content is greatly reduced because of all that stuff that happens on the web. What is the solution? What I'm proposing is all these constituents, the telecoms, content companies, the government, to collaborate, to think about a collective license that actually works for the user. So how would it work? The customers, the users that are sitting on top of the networks, of course, they need to get a license from the music companies, from the labels, the publishers, the rights organizations. A payment is made on a revenue share and license fee per user that's fixed, just like radio is a fixed license that you can make availability of if you so wish to do. That money is paid into what Jim Griffin, my friend that works at Warner, says, the pool of money. The pool of money and the fair way to split it up. Before we get there and the ISPs start screaming about paying, they're not going to be ones that pay. We have advertisers, social networks, search engines, portals. So we take this money, these brands that want to align with artists and genres, we bring it over to the user, and the result is this. It's payments of all kinds, and the government, of course, blessing it, so to speak. Now, if you're saying, well, how would this work? I think advertising that we know today is pretty much dead. Nobody wants to see internet ads or disruptive ads. We're looking at new kinds of advertising. We're looking at a pool of roughly about 250 billion euros a year that is destined to be digital and interactive advertising in 5 years.
Now we're going to move on to Kenth Muldin, who is the CEO of STIM.
STIM is representing authors and music publishers. I think the author's perspective here is rather important. Authors want to get paid for the usage, regardless whether it comes from record sales or internet usage or file sharing. Licensing in cooperation with ISPs is one alternative that has to be explored. Much of the illegal file sharing that we see today could actually be licensed and get paid for. But that comes with another prerequisite. It also requires legal actions, sanctions, and cooperation between rights holders and ISPs in order to reduce the illegal file sharing that will take place regardless of any option to license it. A year ago, we initiated discussions, talks with all other relevant rights holders communities in my country. We also initiated talks with ISPs. We detected a very big interest in this. We have conducted joint seminars, we have commissioned research reports, etc., etc. And right now we are in the phase of concluding a very big market survey whether licensing of file sharing could take place and what kind of economy of scale that would generate in my home country. One of the most important things for a society as mine, since we are representing authors, we are in it not for our own sake, it's for our authors. And the only thing this could work is that if we could show that the money that we in the future hopefully will collect from file sharing will also be distributed to the relevant rights holders. That's why we are also testing music reporting tools in order to facilitate and make a correct distribution possible.
Now, our last contributor in the part one of this debate is Feargal Sharkey.
UK Music launched in October 2008, and it has a very clear remit, goal, ambition to bring together, under the same roof, representatives from pretty much all of the UK's commercial music sector. In July 2008, British Music Rights published the largest ever academic survey into the music consumption habits of 14 to 24-year-olds. Their love of music, their passion, their enthusement, their engagement was way above all other forms of entertainment, and it came over loud and clear. All of us now need to focus our energies on cultivating, nurturing, and serving that demand. As an industry, we have to seize that agenda. Or to paraphrase Dr. Strangelove, 2009 should be the year the music industry learns to stop worrying and love the bomb. Are we still truly dazzled by technology simply for technology's sake? The concept of carrying 1,000 songs in your pocket is no longer sufficient to blow anybody's mind. And I have to say, I've always been intrigued by the absurdity that your MySpace friend count represents some form of tangible currency. The answer has and always will be simple. It's the music that matters. The prospect of biting the bullet and embracing peer-to-peer should not seem as foreboding as it once did. We should not let words like BitTorrent strike fear and dread. It's simple. It's the music that matters.